There is no separating hurricanes from politics, particularly when one such storm began unraveling a presidential administration's illusion of competence 3 years ago today. And when another storm will threaten the Gulf Coast next week, possibly making landfall just as that president's party convenes to launch its new nominee. Our third story in the countdown, that plus the political whirlwind of the last 24 hours with our guest filmmaker Michael Moore. Today, the third anniversary of Hurricane Katrina having made landfall, leading to the unforgettable and unforgivable devastation in New Orleans and the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. But on the same day 3 years ago, Senator McCain celebrated his birthday alongside President Bush with a nice big cake. And today, Gustav strengthening once again to hurricane strength, expected to grow to a Category 3 storm by the time it makes landfall, probably early Tuesday, somewhere along the Gulf Coast. Despite a report in the Washington Post that Republicans might delay the start of their convention in Minneapolis, actually St. Paul, RNC officials say at this point the convention will go forward as planned. As promised, let's bring in documentary filmmaker Michael Moore, also author of the just-released Mike's Election Guide 2008. Michael, good evening. Welcome back.
Good evening, Keith. Thanks for having me back. And I was just thinking this Gustav is proof that there is a God in heaven. I have it planned at the same time. That it would actually be on its way to New Orleans for day one of the Republican convention up in the Twin Cities at the top of the Mississippi River. Certainly I hope nobody gets hurt. I hope everybody's taking cover. But I can't see what you showed. I don't know if you showed the cake there that they had 3 years ago today with McCain and Bush. When Marie Antoinette, when she said "let them eat cake," I think she was speaking figuratively. They literally were, while New Orleans was drowning, eating cake. So it's I don't know. Let's hope things get better.
Hey, Michael, that the thing about the weirdness of Gustav at this time is a little weirder even than that, because one of Dr. Dobson's preachers had called for everybody to pray for rain during Obama's speech last night. So we're really playing with the elements and Mother Nature with that stuff. Let me ask you about what you have posted again on your website.
His actual name is Gustav.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true. Just starting a rumor.
Or goose something. You have posted on your website the open letter from September 11th of 2005, which called out the administration for its failures, including its reaction to 9/11. In some ways, does the public's Bush fatigue and his lame duck status help Senator McCain by making people just sort of forget all the crap of the last 8 years?
Well, I hope not, because McCain was part of that crap. He was doing his job there in the Senate as Bush's foot soldier, helping to take this country down in so many ways, economically, with the war in Iraq. You go down the whole list every night, and you do such a great job of that. So I don't need to repeat everything here, but I really I think my biggest fear with McCain getting elected is that he's going to continue not only the wars that we're in, but another war with Iran, and this has got to stop at some point. I don't even want to hear about Iran. I don't want to hear about weapons of mass destruction or what they're building or whatever. In fact, I got to tell you honestly, and I think anybody wants to be honest if they ask themselves this question: if the Iranians had invaded Canada and Mexico the way that we've invaded Afghanistan and Iraq on both sides of Iran, if we were under the same situation, I think, Keith, actually you and I would join in on building whatever we could to defend ourselves against these two armies that would be on both of our borders. It's just crazy, and I think we're going to have more of the same.
A supremely good point. To something positive that might change things, the Obama speech last night. I saw this as 5 different speeches fused into one, with that one word kind of really launching it, that shout of enough. What stood out for you?
Oh, it was, actually, if you remember Robert Byrd in the Senate in October of 2002, when he gave that eloquent speech when they were going to vote for the war. and he had a little copy of the Constitution in his hands, and he held it up and he just shouted, "Enough!" And when Obama did that again last night, it just sent a chill, I think, through everyone. And it's finally like, it felt like here was a Democrat that found his spine, that was going to stand up, that was going to fight back. And he just kept, like you said, 19 punches there. Just saying it in such clear language for anyone to get. Anybody can that when he said John McCain, he just doesn't get it. I just thought that was just perfect, and I could feel millions of heads nodding in the living rooms across America.
Yeah, probably, as it turns out, probably about 38 million. Today, of course, the McCain response, picking this governor of Alaska as his running mate. And I was just thinking about this after we finished talking about it in the news of the day. There's something a little unusual about seeing him with a woman vice president when it's less than a year since he was campaigning and some woman called Hillary Clinton a bitch, quote, a bitch to his face, and he laughed. I mean, he didn't even call her out on it. Now suddenly he's got a woman vice president. This is we're through the looking glass here, people, are we not?
Well, cynicism. They've refined this to an art form. The Republican Party and McCain in particular. Their treatment of women throughout the decades, leading up to even now, this sort of attitude that women are so stupid that they're going to just vote for somebody because they're a woman, even though this woman is against the very things that women are for and the things that women need. I mean, they really think women are, I guess, just dumb or something, and they're in for a big shock. Somebody should tell them, actually, that more women show up to the polls than men. And I don't think women across the country right now are feeling honored by this event today. And you know, it's funny, Keith, this morning watching MSNBC and CNN and everything, everybody trying to pronounce her name, because nobody knew who it was. Nobody could even say the name. It was just, and I think I don't know what they're thinking here, but I think it's good news for Obama and Biden.
Well, like I said at the start of the show, as I was waking up, Michael, I thought I heard it on the radio, and I said, he picked Michael Palin from Monty Python's Flying Circus? Michael Moore, the author of Mike's Election Guide 2008. As always, sir, great thanks for your time. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Keith.